What if I told you the Dubs legend in Wardell Stephen Curry II is the greatest player of all time? Before getting to how Golden State won their 10th game in 12 outings in Brooklyn, headlines have been stirring up as of late regarding Steph Curry entering the greatest player of all time conversation. First, it was the all-time great Shaq saying, "I demand the fans to start putting Steph in the GOAT conversation." Shaq also said, "I played with LeBron, with Kobe, against MJ, start putting Steph in the GOAT conversation." Based off the fact that Curry's won as many championships as LeBron, plus has a 3-1 record against LeBron in the finals, on top of the fact that Steph's revolutionized the game of basketball with his three-point shooting, and Shaq makes a good point. When it comes to purely his on-court abilities, Steve Kerr spoke on his skill, saying, "It's different, the way he impacts the game is different. When you have these conversations about who's the greatest ever, you automatically go to these genetic marvels, LeBron and Michael Jordan and Wilt Chamberlain and whoever else. Steph doesn't fit that normal mold." I love that Shaq is bringing that up because, from a skill standpoint, it's not even close. Curry is the greatest ever from a skill standpoint. To Kerr's point, the way Stephen can handle the basketball and shoot in traffic both off the dribble and after moving without the rock is unmatched among anyone else we've ever seen step on the court. But it's not merely what Stephen can do, it's what he can do against ridiculous defensive coverages. Draymond chimed in on the convo and touched on that by saying, "With all due respect to LeBron, Michael Jordan, and Shaq, there's no one in the history of the NBA that has been schemed against and guarded the way Steph Curry is guarded. Most youngins, even an old head in the game's most popular talking head, Stephen A. Smith, have put LeBron James over Michael Jordan in the GOAT conversation. Jordan going to the finals 6 times and winning all 6 finals appearances seems to have slipped Stephen A's mind, but I understand why LeBron's longevity has convinced many across the globe that Bron's the greatest ever. I wish this was a healthier debate. Nevertheless, with Curry's longevity in his own right, with how he's dominating on the verge of turning 37, in addition to what he's accomplished throughout his career, mixed with his unparalleled hand-eye coordination, Curry should be right next to James and Jordan in basketball's lore. Right now, it's Jordan, then Curry and LeBron in a tie for me personally. But if Stephen can win another ring to pass James, that would potentially make him the GOAT for me. Then again, Jordan has 6, so let's see if Steph can go back-to-back in 2025 and 26. That would definitely make him the GOAT. Shifting to the Warriors' most recent matchup in Brooklyn, New York, and right off the tip, Jimmy Butler blitzed the passing lane to record this perceptive steal. Butler then recorded another steal, but Draymond threw it away to Keon Johnson, who went coast to coast, forcing a very early Steve Kerr timeout. Podziemski was forced to leave early after suffering a lower back injury. He did not return, so in-checked Buddy Hield. After the Warriors failed to score for nearly the first 4 minutes, Moses Moody finally got them on the board. Cam Johnson answered with a midi to make it 10-2. Curry and D'Lo would then exchange 3-pointers, making it 13-5. Cam Johnson then said, "You should have traded for me by hitting a contested triple to make it a 13-point Nets lead." Tyrese Martin extended it to 16. After an offensive foul from Curry, Steve Kerr received a technical foul. Claxton finished inside to make it a 17-0 Nets run. Curry made an off-balance lay-in in transition to finally end the run. Then Loondog shut down the interior, and Curry got to the cup yet again. Tyrese Martin pushed it back to 20. GP2 grabbed a big-time O board and put it back. Looney was then swatted at the end of the shot clock, and Claxton got a massive putback. The masked man, GP2, was keeping the Dubs in it early though, as he would make consecutive layups. Buddy Hield would miss an easy layup, and the Dubs were down by 20 after 1. Zaire Williams and Gary Payton got tied up at the end of the quarter and had a mini scrap right here. Post would open the second with a triple from the corner. A falling over Pat Spencer would find Jimmy right here, and just like that it was back to 15. Zaire Williams would push it back to 18 with this highly contested triple. Cam Thomas found D'Lo and it was back to a 20-point game. Draymond found Butler, who rose over D'Lo to finish this lob plus the foul shot. Draymond swung to post for his second triple of the quarter, forcing a Jordy Fernandez timeout. Following a great defensive play from post, Moody would cut it to 12 on this lay-in, only for Trendon Watford to get it back to 15. Pat Spencer would get on the board with this putback. Moody's layup from before got him in rhythm to make this triple off a beautiful find from Himmy. Tyrese Martin stepped back on Draymond following a timeout to make it a 13-point Nets lead. After the Dubs locked up Cam Johnson around the basket, GP2 got loose in semi-transition. Tyrese Martin again responded, then Keon Johnson knocked one down to get it back to 15. Guy Santos blocking this shot from the corner was followed by Guy diming up Curry with a nasty cross-court facilitation. Draymond then contested Tyrese Martin around the basket and pushed the tempo to find Curry for the deep-range bomb. Curry locked up Zaire Williams, then Butler got loose in transition to cut it to 6. This Dubs team can clap back at you in the blink of an eye. Jimmy Butler locked up Cam Thomas with elite perimeter clamps right here, which was followed by Guy Santos drawing the loose ball foul and getting free throws out of it due to the Dubs being in the bonus. After Curry faded away to make one of the most ridiculous deep-range bombs you'll ever see in the face of 2 defenders, the Dubs cut it to 5 at half. Watch this dime from Curry to the pocket to find Draymond for the and 1 to cut it to 2. Cam Thomas would make this ridiculous shot over Moody. Curry would embrace the contact of Johnson in the restricted area before throwing up this circus shot plus the foul. After Draymond got loose for a jam, Curry would get to the hole yet again to tie it up. Then he'd give this hilarious look to the camera. Butler then hit this wide open triple as the Nets left him alone, which gave the Dubs their first lead on the night. Inverted pick and roll with Draymond running the show sees Green set up Jimmy in the dunkers. This play sees Curry relocate to the right corner to drain the triple and bail the Warriors out. GP2 would get into the post and make an incredibly contested hook, but after a Tyrese Martin coast-to-coast take, it was back to a 6-point Nets lead. Out of a Steve Kerr timeout, the young veteran Moses Moody chopped the lead in half. Butler found a cutting Guy Santos before Jimmy got to the foul line. Looney then tapped home a crucial O board off a Jimmy miss. Cam Thomas clapped back with a deadly isolation. Guy Santos opened the fourth with a basket inside off a nice feed from Draymond. Cam Thomas's pull-up jumper pushed it back to 3. The strength of Jimmy Butler is put on full display when he seals D'Angelo Russell, gets tied up with him, yet muscles through D'Lo for the and 1. Quentin Post then shut down Cam Johnson in this isolation. After getting to the line, the Dubs were up 6, making it a 9-0 run. Then Curry finding Post in the pocket made it an 11-2 run. This wraparound move by Curry through traffic extended it to 8. This play set sees Curry set a screen for Post, then receive a screen from Payton, who slips it, and it's Curry fading in the face of 2 defenders. Payton II nearly had this poster, then adjusted nicely after getting stopped initially by Claxton. The postman then delivered this pass to Gary Payton II to give GP2 16 and 8. Butler, Curry, and Green would all get to the foul line late, with Steph getting loud MVP chants on the road. The Dubs held a comfortable lead from there, as it was over at that point, but it was fully over when Curry hit this dagger from the corner and hit the night-night celly. The Dubs overcame a 22-point deficit as Stephen Curry dropped a 40-piece, Jimmy Butler had 25 points, while Gary Payton II had 16 and 9 off the pine. Finishing up this 5-game East Coast road trip with a 4-1 record, that 1 L came without Jimmy Butler, so in Brooklyn, the Dubs improved to 10-1 when Jimmy Butler suits up. I want to know your takes on the Dubs down below. This was your boy DFlow, and I'll see you next video.